For nearly 2 months, the puffin has barely moved. Day after day, snow falls across the cliffs of Iceland. Cold rain soaks the rocks, and the North Atlantic keeps getting rougher. But inside a narrow burrow beneath the frozen ground, 3 tiny eggs are still warm. The father has not returned since morning, and the mother is starving. Her feathers are thinning, her breathing is slower now. But if she leaves too early, the eggs will freeze within minutes. So she waits, hungry, weak, listening to the storm outside. Then finally, a faint crack. 1 egg begins to hatch, then another. Tiny puffin chicks push into a world of freezing wind and darkness. But the worst part is only beginning, because now the mother has no choice. For the first time in days, she leaves the nest to find food. And the moment she disappears into the storm, everything changes. The wind suddenly doubles. Snow crashes across the cliffs. And deep inside the colony, part of the coastline begins collapsing into the sea. Far below the rocks, waves are already flooding the lower burrows. The chicks are now alone, buried somewhere inside the Arctic storm. And their mother is still out there, trying to find her way back. The mother disappears into the white storm. Almost instantly, the cliff becomes silent again. Only the wind remains. Inside the burrow, the chicks press against each other for warmth. They cannot see yet. Their bodies are still covered in thin grey feathers. And without food, they will not survive long in this cold. Outside, the storm keeps getting worse. Snow begins sealing parts of the colony shut. Several adult puffins crash hard against the rocks while trying to land. 1 male disappears straight into the sea below. The mother keeps flying anyway, low over the freezing water, searching for sand eels beneath the waves. But the ocean has changed. The fish are deeper now, harder to reach. Every failed dive burns more energy she no longer has. Then suddenly, she catches something. A single eel, small, but enough to keep the chicks alive for 1 more night. She turns back toward the cliffs immediately. But halfway home, the blizzard arrives. Visibility collapses within seconds. The coastline disappears behind snow and sea spray. Even the lighthouse above the island vanishes into darkness. The mother puffin keeps flying blind through the storm. Then a violent gust flips her sideways. The eel falls into the ocean. Gone. For a moment, she almost follows it into the waves. But another sound stops her. Hundreds of puffins screaming across the cliffs at once. Something is happening back at the colony. Something far worse than hunger. As the storm tears across the island, part of the frozen cliff suddenly breaks away into the sea, and the burrow holding the chicks is directly above the collapse. Snow and dirt explode down the cliff face. The entire colony erupts into panic. Hundreds of puffins launch into the air at once. Some never make it through the wind. The mother lands hard against the rocks near the burrow, breathing fast, looking everywhere. Part of the cliff is gone. Fresh cracks spread through the frozen ground, and the entrance to the nest has disappeared under snow and broken soil. For several seconds, she does not move. Then she starts digging, fast, throwing mud and ice behind her. The storm keeps pushing snow back into the hole, but she does not stop. Inside the collapsed burrow, the chicks are still alive, barely. One of them is trapped beneath wet soil. Another has gone silent completely. The air inside is getting colder. Every minute matters now. The mother digs deeper. Her beak begins bleeding against frozen rock. And suddenly, a sound, very faint, one tiny chirp beneath the snow. She freezes, listens again. Another chirp, closer this time. The chicks survive the collapse. But a new problem is already coming. The freezing seawater from below is now rising through the cracks in the cliff. Researchers monitoring the island later recorded temperatures dropping below -10 degrees overnight. For newly hatched puffins, that cold can kill within minutes. The mother finally reaches the nest chamber. 2 chicks are still moving, but the third one is gone. Washed somewhere deeper into the collapsed tunnel, the mother pulls the remaining chicks close beneath her feathers. Outside, the Arctic storm continues screaming across the coast. And by morning, the entire cliff may break apart again. If you want to witness more real survival stories from the wild, subscribe and stay with the journey.